No, you are not imagining it. Just like the Space Marine Strike Force Justian and the Plague Marine Warhammer Heroes boxes, Warhammer Heroes is coming to Age of Sigmar, and we're going to be getting Stormcast Eternals. The more important thing, however, is that we are 100% going to be getting Warcry rules for these figures. They will be included in the box, and thanks to eBay, we have some new pictures to check out and some more information for you. So, let's go take a look. Okay, so here is the box that you'll be getting. In every single case, there are 8 boxes. Those boxes give you a chance to get one of 7 miniatures. You can see in the top right-hand side here that each one of these boxes for those miniatures will contain Warcry fighter and ability cards. That we can take a little bit of a look at. This warband of Stormcast Eternals is going to be called the Heroes of the Gladiatorium. You can see here that they're going to be part of Thunderstrike, but they have their own warband rune mark. This leads me to believe that they might be something like Bladeborn, or they might be something like Quest or Soulsworn, whereby you can use them as a warband themselves, or you'll be able to use them in Thunderstrike as heroes as you would normally. So that's something that's really interesting. From the one picture that we have here, we have what looks like it's going to be a Knight Arcanum. Very similar stats. You've got the 3-4-2-4 damage profile with the range 2, and you've got the Wizard Bolt 3-7-2-4-3-6. All normal, really. 28 wounds, which is kind of the same. Toughness 5, which is the same. Movement 4 is exactly the same. Costs a little bit more than your basic Knight Arcanum, so maybe it's got some kind of fancy ability that we'll be able to look at. This is the kind of thing that I'm expecting out of this warband. If they're going to go to the trouble to give us a number of individual Stormcasts you're going to have to collect, I'm kind of hoping that they'll all have their own abilities, maybe named characters, kind of like the Black Talons, so we'll have a good amount of really unique fighters, all with their unique sculpts. So that's something that could be real interesting. What you do have on the box, which is very different from the previous Warhammer Heroes sets, is you have pull ratios for each one of the fighters. There are 7 fighters that you can get out of the box. Each one of these fighters looks to be filling one of the traditional archetypes within Stormcast. So you've got the Annihilator type guy, you've got the Knight Arcanum type guy, you've got your Stormcast with bow, you've got your Stormcast warrior builds. But yeah, we've got the ratios on there. So what this means is that unlike the other sets, there is no guarantee that you will pull, if you buy one of these sets of 8, every single fighter in the box. I've got the odds here for you. Any one of these fighters with a 1 in 8 chance means that on average, in a case of 8 boxes, you will get 1 of them. The warrior at the end, you should get 2. The Vindictor gives you slightly better odds at 1.67 if you buy a box of 8. But the real thing is, the Knight Arcanum style character, that's going to be your secret special guy. That's got a 1 in 24 pull chance. If you buy a case of 8 of them, there is only a 33% chance that you'll even pull 1 out of that case. So on average, you're going to be having to buy 3 cases just to get that guy and fill out your set, and you're going to have a lot of these extra Annihilator, Vindictor, Warrior, all of these kind of guys that you basically have nothing to do with and that you'll have to get rid of. I hope that his abilities are worth it for Warcry to make him so rare, but ultimately he's not all that different from one of these Knight Arcanum sculpts that I'm not entirely sure that it'll be worth it. I'm going to say it one more time. This is a real gacha box set. You are not guaranteed to get one of each of the fighters if you buy one box. There's a possibility that you will be able to get them, but we're dealing with percentages here and not just, okay, here's my case, here's my 8 guys, I've got everyone. So that is something you really have to bear in mind with this set. Will that put people off buying this as opposed to the other ones? I don't know, quite possibly, but that's something that we're just going to have to find out. I've got a couple more pictures here of the miniatures and of the sprue. If you ask me, now I'm one of these people that sees a Stormcast and says, okay, a Stormcast is a Stormcast is a Stormcast. So they're kind of all the same to me. They look like minor reposings of existing models, especially the Vindictor. The Knight Arcanum kind of looks like a repose of Domiton, but his armor's a little bit different. The Annihilator basically looks like any other Annihilator with a head swap. It looks like you are going to get both bare and helmeted heads if we check out the Knight Arcanum sprue, so that might be something interesting for us, but ultimately I don't know how unique these characters are going to be when you're actually fielding them in your warbands and on the tabletop if you play Age of Sigmar. They do have the molded bases, which is nice, but it may just be a case of you converting these guys to use for yourself, especially if the pull odds aren't in your favor, and if their abilities are very good, they may end up being staples anyway for Stormcast warbands and for other warbands that want to ally them in. I don't think the miniatures themselves are anything to really write home about, especially when we compare them to the Plague Marines that were released last time. Okay, I'm just going to leave you here with a picture of the box itself. That's all of the new information that we have. In terms of a release date, what we do know is that this is going to be out in December. This has been corroborated by a few different sources, things like Barnes & Noble. You can go onto their website and pre-order this now, and they're giving a December release, somewhere between the 20th and 21st. That looks to be where we're going to be. So a little bit closer to the time, I'm hoping to get the details of these fighters. I'll be able to look at them in depth and really do an analysis on which ones are good and which ones are not so good for your warbands. So yeah, that's all the news for today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you want to see more like this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this set. Tell me what you think about it being a proper gacha set as opposed to a buy a case, get all your stuff. Put it down in the comment section below. That's something I'd really like to hear. And yeah, I guess we will wait for December for more news of this and to see when it comes out. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Itan. This has been Off Meta Musings, and we'll see you next time.